Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Him with a horrible take. No. So the latest was him and Jay Will on First Take, and he was trying to say that Giannis would be considered underachiever with only one ring. And the thing about it is this: Jay Will was trying to educate that idiot that how hard it is to win a ring. You know, he mistaken that Allen Iverson had one, but Iverson led the Sixers to the finals, which is still an achievement into itself. But he tried to downplay it, and Jay Will tried to bring up Oscar Robertson, and he mentioned others who had one ring, and Dirk or someone like that. And Stephen A. was trying to say, well, because um, Giannis with his place in history and what he's accomplished wouldn't be justifiable. But you see, this is the thing. Stephen A. Smith is actually being accurate with his backwards way of thinking because he doesn't really respect Giannis or Jokic or any guys in a small market, you know. Now, let them play for the Lakers or Boston or New York or Chicago or Miami or Houston or someone that was big. I don't think he says anything idiotic like that. Anybody knows there wasn't that long ago that if you could win a ring, you had a ring on your resume and you were a great player, you know. But see, rings are subjective to the places you are at. They carry different weight. And sometimes people tend to downplay them. I think that's one of the problems that Isaiah Thomas faces with Detroit. Forget about if he's nice or he's bad or all that. Where you win him at, people tend to act funny with you. It's kind of like Tim Duncan with the Spurs. People act funny. They don't carry the same cachet. And a guy like Stephen A. Smith, this is consistent with his behavior because he does not respect small markets. The guy was playing solitaire on TV the other night for crying out loud at the finals. And so he probably looks down at Giannis. The only knock against Giannis, and Jay Will was saying it was the Bucks, the team, is that he did have a hand in not keeping his coaches. And they have gone through a lot of coaches. They made some bad personnel changes. And he has not tried to fit the type of team around him who necessarily get the best out of him. But I think a lot of it's because, again, the GMs, a lot of stuff that goes on. But he has to have a hand on it too, you know. And then he has had early first round exits recently. And teams are not exactly fearing him. They like to play him because the Pacers didn't have a problem playing him. And the Heat beat him like that too. So that's been, if you want to hold that. But you can't say that the guy ain't had a top tier career. You can't say that he's not one of the 25 or so greatest players that ever played because when his career is all said and done, he will rank high, you know. But Stephen A doesn't like small market teams, and he's going to run into dissing people who play there because they don't give him the ooh and a ah. But it's a horrible take, especially if you consider a guy an all-time great. But if you've listened to Stephen A. Smith's rhetoric, this finals is tearing him up because it's not in a big market and he has a disdain. And he probably had his way. Giannis would be in New York. Jokic would probably be in Philly or Houston or somewhere big. He'd probably have Joel Embiid probably come off the bench in Boston or something. He'd probably have a way they would just not be in a small market because he detests small markets and he's always got something to say about it. But make no mistake about it, Giannis is a great player. They have had some shortcomings, and it is he has to take some blame for it. But it ain't gonna change his place in history. I mean, he wins another ring, he moves up. If he doesn't win another ring, he's still a top 25 to 30 or so greatest player ever. I mean, he's in that kind of round where you could say he's one of the 30 greatest ever. So, but that's the idiocy that Stephen A. Smith. But then again, that's his bias against the small markets, and that's his way of throwing another diss track. That's all he do, because he wants to be in L.A., New York, and Miami so bad, and he paints himself in that corner. And he doesn't really pay attention to the games no more. He just putting on a show, you know. That's why I hope the finals keep on staying in the most backwards places, so his behind has to go there and represent because if he's a so-called journalist, then let your journalist talk, not because of where you want to be at. It's kind of like us on a hot day. Would you rather be chasing down an ice cream truck, or would you rather be having to be stuck with some hot cocoa? But sometimes those be the breaks. You know what I'm saying? Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay woke. Stay free. On my one time. Peace.